Carrie was with me when they told me that I had to be induced. And I had never, with my first son, it was a difficult labor. I had never been induced before, so I didn't really know what to expect. And it was the middle of the afternoon, and I'm sure I actually kind of felt bad for Carrie. I'm sure she was thinking we're just going to go in for my regular ultrasound and she would get to go home and have dinner with her family. But since all of this happened, she had to call her husband and tell him that she wasn't coming home because she was staying with me. And I was really grateful for that because I didn't have anybody else that could be with me. And being induced it's a wild ride, I think, because it's hormones to jumpstart the labor process, and they wanted to get the baby out as quick as possible, but still do it a natural birth. I wasn't on the maternity ward, and there was no happiness. It was the middle of the night by the time I had him. I still wanted the, hey, congratulations, you did it. You made it through the 12 hours of labor or anything, but it wasn't like that. And when I had my first son, they, put him on my chest right away. And when I had the second one, they didn't. And that was really, really hard. Because I think as a birth mother, you still want to feel the baby close to you just for a little bit. So after they took him away, I was just left to recover. Michael and Terry actually came into the room at that point, and we took pictures. And I think Terry sensed how difficult this was going to be, and Michael had little tears in his eyes, and it was extremely emotional. It for all of us. They left the room, and I decided to go scrub in and go see him in the nursery. It was just so hard for me because I was raising my first son already, so it's hard to explain, but when you look into your baby's eyes, you just get this tremendous feeling of love that you've never felt before. And I felt that with my first son, and I felt it now with my second son, and it was very hard to let him go. Because the selfish part of me really wanted to keep him. And, I really wanted to keep him, and I kept trying to tell myself, you can get through anything, you can do this, you can, we'll find a way. But then the other part of me, the realistic side of me was like, no, both of these boys deserve so much more than what I can give. And they deserve a better life. And if I kept both of them, then both of them would in turn suffer because I wouldn't be able to give them the kind of life that they deserved. I kissed his forehead and I said goodbye in my own way, and I asked him to forgive me. And then I was able to hand him back to the nurse. And I went back to my room, and I asked Carrie if Michael and Terry were still here, and she said she didn't know. Because I kind of wanted to be able to hand him over to them, but I never got the chance to do that. I just asked to go home, and the doctor released me, and I got to go back to the agency where I was living at the time, and Carrie stayed with me. as long as she said she would stay as long as I needed her there. But I really just wanted to be alone. Just wanted to kind of sort through my own thoughts. So after a couple of days in my apartment, Carrie came in, and she was actually nice enough to show me the original birth certificate. She showed me his footprints, and I was thrilled with that. I didn't think I would get to see anything. But along with that, she asked if I was ready to sign surrenders. And she asked me if I had any questions, if I wanted to talk about anything, and to talk about anything at all. She wanted to make sure that I was very clear in what I was doing and that my understanding was clear. I knew right away that what I was doing was the right thing. I felt good, actually, about signing the surrenders. I felt relieved because I knew from that point forward that he would have a much better life than what I could give him.